Hey there, my name's Jake, and I want to thank you so much for being here. Today, I'm going to show you how to take ice-cold prospects and turn them into red-hot paid raving fans using social media and utilizing video. So, what this is going to be our social media business booster system. And this is exactly how people like Gary Vaynerchuk, Alex Hormozi, and many other online influencers are actually taking people and getting more opportunities, more hands raised to scale their business online. Now, who this is really for is for an entrepreneur or business owner or busy thought leader that's looking to close more deals online using video and using social media. Maybe you've tried and failed in the past or contemplate starting video, but you had no idea what to say, what to do, or even what kind of videos to make. And you're probably tired and frustrated combing YouTube and the internet to try and find solutions that you know you don't have the time or skills really to implement as a busy business owner. If that's ring true to you, then you're definitely in the right place. So what we're going to cover today in this quick video is a new, air quotes, way to attract, engage, and collect money from cold strangers and make them red hot by building trust. It's exactly what you're seeing people like Alex Hormozi, Gary Vaynerchuk, people that are way smarter than you or I probably, utilizing in their business every day really effectively. Why your past attempts at video may have failed and how we fix it basically. How to save yourself years of learning as well as money spent on trial and error by just working with an expert, such as me, and the different types of video content, how to make them fun and easy, right? So first off, who am I? My name's Jacob, and I've spent 8 years making all the mistakes so you don't have to. I came up learning through experience. I don't have a college education or any crazy stuff like that. I'm just a videographer turned digital marketer that actually even started before that as a stage and close-up magician and hypnotist, believe it or not, at corporate events. And I cracked the code using high-converting videos to actually first book those gigs, but ultimately to, build my business on a grand scale that I'm doing now. And I've traveled the world creating content. This isn't just something that works just in the US, just in the Netherlands, just in Europe, wherever. This is something that works for everyone. And it's been working for companies and clients of mine such as Boss Display, Legoland Denmark, Illusionist, and many other brands that you know and love, more likely than not, right? So this is who I was, unfortunately. Yes, that is a handlebar mustache. I don't know what I was thinking here. But this is when I was actually serving, between doing gigs as a magician and serving as a restaurant part-time just to get by. Barely making enough to even be able to afford rent and not living on my own, living with a group of people, basically. But I did have a lot of success in performing. I got to do a couple of the TEDx talks here locally, and I did get someplace. But I realized over time that the true marketing I was going to need to do to get more of these gigs and sustain myself and turn more people from ice cold, having no idea who I am, into red hot raving fans that wanted me at their events was through cementing myself in their hearts and their minds through video. I knew that I could translate a message like I have on stage into a video and then get more people raising their hands and more people interested to have me at their events, and taking their message, translating it in the medium of a magic and hypnosis show, and ultimately making them very memorable and getting more people to raise their hands and take action on what it is they're trying to present at their events. So, as kind of happens in life, that really didn't work as planned. And, over time I realized slowly but surely that I'm much more of an introverted person than I really gave myself credit for, and taking the stage and being the star really wasn't fully my thing. But it did teach me a lot, being an introvert and forcing himself to be extrovert on stage, and, also developing the skill sets to handle my nerves, to handle my inner turmoil that I was feeling on stage as somebody that was almost like a fish out of water. And it led me to basically where I'm at now, where basically I got an opportunity with a friend of mine, Peter, who is actually a huge person in the magic community, and we filmed a television pilot in England, in the north of England, and you can see here, this is me smugly on the flight over there. That's Peter himself right there. That's one of the cameras we're using. Here's me, actually my full setup, and then our other camera guy, also named Pete, and capturing some, magic we perform for the people on the streets of Leeds, England, right? Fast forward a few years, More experience came through. COVID hit and almost decimated everything right away. And I was able to transition into doing many more high-ticket shoots. And then ultimately, during that COVID transition, I was able to figure out something really important, that there is still the ability to create amazing content through virtual means, which has kind of taken me down a rat path of almost doing a coaching in a way for people. It's my biggest thing above everything else being a director is coaching people to be successful on camera. And I worked with some of the most impossible clients, ranging from architecture firms to engineers, auto parts manufacturers, all over the world, which are the most difficult people to try and coach and are equally as extroverted as I was. To make them appear to be, more than they are on camera was a big challenge. And I developed my system based on working with them first and foremost. And that's led me to places like Brazil, the Virgin Islands. Right here, these are my hands actually on the Illusionist site, which is a site for magic teaching. And to have my hands on that site is still a great honor. This is me in Legoland, working in Legoland here actually, in Denmark. This is the CEO of that company right here, my good friend G, who now also runs a marketing company that I collaborate with, and a team of magicians right there. Bahia, Brazil, over here in Greece for a gig, working with an engineering company, etc., etc. But, above all else, the method is really the proof in the pudding here. As you can see, my primary platform being Facebook here, where I drive a lot of my leads and a lot of my engagement and a lot of my profits and things and clients coming in because they get to know who I am, which we'll cover here shortly. You can see I've actually gained a massive 8.1K engaged followers over this journey, becoming this videographer and director, basically, right? So how does this apply to you? Well, before we get into that, let's first address the elephant in the room, right? Because maybe you've been here before and you've tried this so many times. And what makes this different? What makes what we're going to cover today different, first off? First off, we're going to cover and flip the traditional model on its head and start nurturing our prospects before they even raise their hand. Yes, they're going to already have an idea who you are, awareness of who you are, and that's going to be our primary focus out the gate, right? When your prospects do finally raise their hands, they're going to come to you as an expert or people in need, so that you're not just a service provider, you're actually an expert and you're the top choice in their field because of their what you've basically put out there in the content and the value you provide. We're also going to spread goodwill, which is going to help word travel a lot faster and is going to lead to more money than time, more money that will convert faster for prospects. And, basically just giving freely so that way more people are coming into your world and open to hearing what you have to say because you've given them so much value already. So why am I giving you the missing piece if why is this in my best interest to do this? And I'll tell you why. I'm doing the method right now. And you're going to feel this as we go. Because a simplified view of what I do is this. We're going to be taking, what I do is I take short form content, quick informational fixes, I lead them over to long form content and nurture people into getting to know who I am, what I'm all about, and what my unique mechanism is all about, which ultimately leads to booked appointments. People booking in calls with me. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, how I do this is, and how we're going to do this, is first off, we're going to track people into the short form content, get them to engage, and then sit through and basically engage with you on the long form content, get used to you and nurture them, and finally convert them. But, we're going to produce content that clarifies your video, your messages to your target audience so that it's clear what you're saying and it's clearly reaching them, right? We're going to engage their audience in a way that's going to build community and trust. That's huge, right? We're in a humongous trust recession right now. And the more community and more trust we can build, the easier it's going to be to basically convert more ice-cold strangers into red-hot paid raving fans. It makes sense when you think about it. And we're going to create video content that your audience pays attention to, responds to, because we're going to research what they're into. And of course, we're going to convert that audience in a way that makes people comfortable buying from you by spending time with you on these longer form trainings and these longer form videos, right? And we're going to get into that. We're going to keep digging into this here. So when we look at how this works, right? Say you're somebody that has a remote offer, say you're somebody that has a brick and mortar, whatever, it's all the same. People become aware of you and who you are. They then raise their hand and become interested in what you do. You then have to nurture them and build that trust, which ultimately gets them to raise their hand to the sales conversation and take action to get in a conversation with you, which leads us over to the fulfillment side where you fulfill your services And then you can upsell, you can refer, and you can collect testimonials. That's going to bring more people then into this awareness side. My bet is probably here on the client side, the fulfillment and the upsell, referrals, testimonials, you're probably all about that. You're probably already killing that game. But maybe over on the sales conversation side, or more likely not here on the marketing side, getting that awareness on autopilot, so getting eyes on autopilot, getting them to raise their hand, turn into leads, nurturing those leads systematically in a way that's trusting and engaging to get them to the sales conversation that gets you over fulfillment, upsell, referral, and testimonials is probably the thing you're struggling most with right now if you're watching this video. Now, let's first off go over all the different forms of social media content, because maybe you're watching this and you have no idea what any of this is. So first, there's brand content that lives on a web page to educate, qualify, nurture leads. This is stuff that realistically is going to be your nurturing content that lives on your website. This could be client success stories. This could be brand story videos. Lots of things to nurture your leads. There's advertisements meant to raise awareness or place an offer in front of somebody to raise their hands. These are kind of what we're going to utilize our short form content to do here in a way. We're going to do this through basically doing an undercover style of social media advertising by producing a lot of value. There's, of course, social media content like Reels, TikTok, Instagram, even LinkedIn. A lot of these are, distributing value of either entertainment value, of educational value, or of inspirational value. If they have one of those three things, typically they're succeeding on social media and they're successful in social media content. And then long-form content, again, comes with some of that brand content. That's going to be podcasts, YouTube, streaming, etc. Right? We're going to really be focusing here on creating a hybridization of these four pieces of content so that the things that don't feel as honest, the advertising content, and maybe some of the brand content, these things maybe people don't trust as much, we're going to make them feel much more like this, where they're going to be something trusted and part of everyday life that people want to raise their hands and support, right? And it starts telling a story that's compelling enough for people to raise their hands for. So making video creation easy is kind of the first step in what we actually set up for our clients. And that's going to be through basically creating a systematic video studio, right? An all-in-one station right here at your desk that makes filming videos fun and easy. That includes building your background like I've got here. If you're going to spend on money thing, I would say spend money on your microphone above anything else, but all of it goes together into one hybridization of a solution that makes you sitting at your desk and starting recording when you have content, a two-button click solution is what's going to make you the most successful. And that's what we establish for all of our clients when we're working with them. Speaking of content, how we plan our content and how you should plan your content too, and how we will if we decide to move forward with this here, is first off defining your audience's goals. That's important. If we don't make content based on their goals, they're not going to care. Make scripts that help the audience achieve those goals. We make content with those scripts and ideas. Finally, we put that content 24/7 out to our audiences. We find out what works, and then we adjust to our audience's needs and goals. This is all really important, and when we're dealing with our clients, we're hand-holding them through all of this and looking at their analytics realistically and going, okay, so this thing here did really well this last month, Mr. Jones, so we should probably do more of that kind of content. Or this one didn't do quite as well as we'd hoped it would. We should probably avoid that kind of thing again, or maybe we can test something else with it, but we'll try this month, right? We have to basically work and move and groove with what works in the ebbs and flows of all of our content and everything out there, and what our audiences truly desire and what their needs are. So what really makes great value-packed content, you might ask? Well, how we script our content and how I script content for all of my clients is a video that opens with a really strong hook. It has to be something that's going to stop the scroll and get people right away, whether it's visual, whether it's with the script itself, or a mixture of the two, which is what I think is best. It has to have an interest peak. Think about this. When you hook a fish, have you ever hooked a fish before and you felt a tug and then it got away? Well, this is what the interest peak does. This digs that hook deeper in and allows you to reel in the fish more easily and more effectively, right? And that's what we're going to have in all of our videos. We have to also have in there a pledge that they're going to be able to do something, right? Some kind of pledge, some kind of big promise, and we have to deliver on that in that 60-second to 3-minute time that we have now. And we have to end finally with a strong call to action. Something's going to get people to comment, to get people to reach out, get people to DM, something along those lines. So I know you might be thinking, well, this is great, but what do I talk about and how do I write scripts? I don't know what to say or what kind of content to make. Well, it first comes up with, looking at your client avatar and researching what keeps your clients up at night. Making content about that's the first way to get someone to raise their hand if you have a solution. It doesn't have to all be business either is the thing. It can be personal things. Sometimes personal stories are way more impactful and way better at building trust than just having solution, right? And you can write scripts that take away their stresses, and that's when you're going to get the most hands engaged. And they must have, again, educational, inspirational, or entertainment value, or there's not even worth writing a script or doing a video to start with. And now, this is an example of my studio. As you can see, it's a bit messy here, but you can see the results behind me here from having a space that makes it super easy. And you see this is not a high-tech setup. It's just all goes in my MacBook, and I'm using it right now, actually. And the desk is, sadly, in a similar kind of state to make this piece of content for you right now, right? It has to be easy. And how to edit your videos for success is also really important. You want to eliminate your breaths and fumbles, right? That's something that when I'm coaching people, I'm virtually directing them through our program here. I am actually telling them what to say, how to do it, what's their body language like, all that important thing. You need to have things like captions, images, sound elements in there. They're going to basically hook people even further and retain your viewership. And finally, you have to have a quality. Finally, the biggest thing here, I want to say this, right? Because you have to have a quality image. You want to make sure you're not looking completely grainy and like you're like some kind of weird footage found footage film thing. But the quality of the picture is not anywhere near as important as the quality of the content itself. If I could have you'll see that sometimes some of the worst looking videos do the best because their quality of their picture is their least focus, and their biggest focus is the quality of the content, the value being delivered. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Think about it as a grainy video with high quality content in it versus a high quality video with another silly tip to it, right? And some successful practices that we like to follow, always having captions that are bright and stand out, always having your visual hooks and your hooks in general forward so they can deliver that pledge as quickly as possible. Outsourcing your content production to someone knowledgeable is a great way to make sure that all these things are checkmarked so you can focus on your busy daily tasks as a operational business owner, which is why you're here right now. And don't be afraid to test things out that are unique and different. We certainly are with our clients. We love taking ideas on board and running with them because sometimes these ideas produce the best results possible, even though they make no sense out the gate, right? These could also be useful as paid ads down the line too, all these content pieces. So they're the next scale up of what you're looking to do. We've got you covered there too. Posting your content's really important as well, obviously. You want to make sure when we're working with our clients, we're researching keywords for clients to follow and to utilize in their scripts as well as in their descriptions. And also optimizing the descriptions, big thing here, that when you read the description, when they scroll down, they can read the description and still get similar value that they got from the video. Because while that video is playing overhead and they're reading that description, you're still racking up views, you're still racking up engagement, and they can still engage with the post. There's a large chunk of people that prefer to read the descriptions instead. So not having your call to action, not having your hook, not having your whatever in the description is absolutely killing things. And you can squeeze in more keywords, into that as well that it resonate with your audience, but also with the algorithm itself, right? And of course, finding your peak times when people are online, when they're most engaged is important, but above all else, the big red word here, you got to keep consistency. Without consistency, all of this is for naught because people want to be able to engage with you all the time, right? Lead magnets are what their main driving force is here, right? So maybe you've seen before reels where somebody says, hey, if you want X resource, comment down below, and then you send them across that thing. We're going to be doing heavily that for our system inside of the social media business builder here, right? A lead magnet is a strong offering that has value to a client, but just given away for free. That basically gets the law of reciprocity at work, right? Have you ever had somebody do a favor for you and you just felt super indebted to give back to them? Same thing here in the digital space, right? Lead magnets build know, like, and trust up much quicker than any other forms of marketing. They're amazing for that. And that's what some of our long-form content's going to be, is that lead magnet. Constructing that piece is going to sell them on your unique mechanism, right? Lead magnet should be checklists, trainings, and other valuable items that prospects would pay money for. You can have as many as you want, but The ones that you test out and you find out work the best, those are going to be the most utilized things you should use in your videos, right? And automating your follow-up. This is really important because I don't know if you had the experience of making a comment X if you want something or if you're interested in something, you having to follow up people manually. It is hard. So we automate within our system as much as possible all of that, right? You can also automate. You can also use things like tools like AI and all that, though it's super unnecessary. So for those who are out there that are really weary on AI and everything, understand that can be used, but it's not something we actually advise for our system. It's not really what I use heavily within my system to nurture and communicate with our different leads that we're slowly taking from ice cold to red hot, right? These automations are just there to guide your people and to bridge the gaps, right? To give them those lead magnets, to give them the resources, to lead them to your long form content where you can sit them down, nurture more, and sell them on your unique mechanism, right? And you've got to make offers and respond to leads who already know you as an expert, right? So for example, this is just from people just come in sometimes just from making these videos. This is somebody that came in to me, hey, they're interested in advertising for a tattoo shop, and there you go. We were able to get a great gig off of this, and boom, this person reached out. We closed the deal just in the DMs because we were able to actually, they knew us. This guy knew me already. I'd already nurtured him to death on social media, and because we were communicating, even more of our content was pushed in front of him. So, all that being said, if you're in this position where you're looking to close more deals social media, you're looking to get this system implemented, and you're looking to take the social media booster package here and make it and run with it, all you have to do is just get ready your onboarding and have your invoice sent. Just shoot me a message with I'm in, and I'll send everything you need right over to you with a unique offer just for you to privately invite you to this special offer. And remember, we can only take 5 business owners this month because this does take time to implement. And I should again mention this is about $5,000 normally to implement into our clients' businesses, but for this we have a special price just for you for signing up. So all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you there.